You can see a photograph of the Earth taken from a man-made satellite. Now, Moon is a natural satellite, but we also have man-made satellites, artificial satellites, which are sent out. Next, turn to page number 2. Every planet in the solar system revolves around the Sun along a specific path. This path is known as the planet's orbit. That means it doesn't go here, there, anywhere, because if it goes anywhere, sometimes the planets might clash. So nature has given it a path and it follows the path. See, traffic rules also, if we pay attention to it, we are not likely to have an accident. See all the planets, beautifully they go around in their own path. So let us see the orbits. These are the different orbits. They never change their path. They have a particular place where they will go, and exactly on that path they will keep going. That is known as the orbit or the fixed path which all the different planets travel around the Sun. Have you got that? Now, the Sun, which is a star, and the planets that revolve around it are together called the solar system. So you can underline that also, because as a definition, first we learned what is a star. You know, a star has its own light, it twinkles. A planet does not twinkle, while the Sun, which is a star, and the planets, so the Sun plus all the 9 planets, is known as the solar system. Besides the planets, the solar system also includes various other heavenly bodies, which we can see in the sky. Other heavenly bodies in the solar system. So now what are these other heavenly bodies? Let us see. Satellites. Some heavenly bodies revolve around planets. These are called satellites. Satellites too get their light from the Sun. We see the Moon at night. It revolves around the Earth. Hence, it is called a satellite of the Earth. Most of the planets in the solar system have satellites. The planets revolve around the Sun along with their satellites. Now let us have a look at satellite. You can see that Moon is a natural satellite of the Earth. So when the Earth moves, the Moon also moves along with it. The Moon has its own orbit, the way even the Earth has its own orbit. Asteroids are also heavenly bodies. Before that, the dwarf planet, I have already mentioned to you, that is the Pluto. There are some smaller heavenly bodies that revolve around the Sun, and they are called dwarf planets. Out of this, the last one, the 9th one, that is Pluto. Dwarf planets revolve independently around the Sun, and they have an orbit of their own. So they have a different path. Asteroids, just now we saw the picture. Between the planet Mars and Jupiter, there is a band of numerous small heavenly bodies. These are called asteroids. Asteroids also revolve around the Sun. Now you can see these asteroids. These asteroids that you can see around, you will find that they are there between Mars and Jupiter. In your picture, in your notebook, textbook, you can see the diagram of our solar system also. So you can see where Mars is and you can see where Jupiter is. So in between that, you will find all these asteroids. Coming back to your text. Compared to the Sun, other heavenly bodies in the solar system are much smaller. That means the Sun is very, very big, huge, large, and compared to that, all the planets, all the other things look very, very tiny. The Moon is closest to the Earth. That means it's very near. That is why it appears to be so big, although it is actually very much smaller than the Sun. But because it is near, it looks big. A diagram of the solar system is given in your textbook. Please look at page 2. We have already seen it on the monitor, but look down at your book. In it, you see the Sun in the center and the heavenly bodies that revolve around it and its orbits, the planets planets we saw do not twinkle. Satellites are there close to the planet and they revolve around the planet. Dwarf planet, in that we saw one, that is Pluto. And asteroids. Asteroids are heavenly bodies that are found between Mars and Jupiter. All this is part of our solar system. Now, on page number 3, we have some questions. Can you tell? Look at the picture of the solar system. That means look at the picture which is in your book on page number 2. You can see that. On page number 2, you have a picture. So look at that and then you can answer your questions. First, which planet is nearest the Sun? Have you got the answer? If you have not, write down Mercury. MERCURY. Now, because it is nearest to the Sun, I told you it will be very, very hot. Second, at what position is the Earth from the Sun? It is in the 3rd position. We already saw that first is Mercury, then is Venus, and then the 3rd is Earth. So it is in the 3rd position from the Sun. Of course, we can change this question. We can ask which planet is the 8th from the Sun, which is 7th from the Sun, which is 4th from the Sun. So you must know all of them, and this is a very good method of learning how to remember which one is first, which one is second. Third question, which planet is placed between Earth and Mercury? So that is Venus, VENUS. Fourth, name the planets beyond the orbit of Mars in serial order. Now, beyond Mars, that means beyond this. So, after Mars, you have Jupiter, S stands for Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and of course, if you are counting Pluto, but some textbooks, they don't count Pluto. Fifth question, which planet in the solar system is farthest from the Sun? Now, in your textbook, if they have mentioned only up to Neptune, you can say Neptune is the planet which is the farthest. Or if they have also mentioned Pluto, then you can take Pluto as the farthest. But this is taken as a dwarf planet. Let us continue our lesson. On page 3, we now learn about gravity. A lot of people feel that the earth is round. We stand on the earth and the earth moves this way, it rotates, it revolves. How do we not fall down? How do we stay on this earth? Now, if you stand on a ball, you are likely to fall down. But on this earth, how do we remain straight and we don't fall down? Very often, people used to think that the earth is flat in the olden days. Then they realized that it was round. You know that Kepler, Galileo, all these scientists explained that the earth is round. What keeps us there on the ground is gravitational pull, gravity. Gravity holds us, that means it pulls us towards the earth, which is why even if we throw something in the air, have you seen everything comes down? Finally, it will always come down. If it's a feather, it will come down very lightly, slowly down on the earth. If it is something heavy, it comes down immediately. But does something remain up over there? Never. Even if you send a rocket up in the air during Diwali time, you may not see it coming down. It might go far away somewhere and then it will come down. A balloon, you will see it drifting away, but somewhere or the other, once the air has come out, it will fall down somewhere. Your kite, when you're flying your kite, that will also come down somewhere. So now let us see what exactly is gravity. All heavenly bodies exert a force of attraction or a pull on one another. This force is known as the gravitational pull, or this force is called gravity. The sun exerts a gravitational pull on all planets. Otherwise, all the planets would go here and there, anywhere. Why does it go in that exact same orbit around the sun? Because there is an attraction or a gravitational pull from the sun towards the planets. That means all the planets are attracted towards the sun. Whereas the tendency of the planets is to move away from the sun. So sun tries to pull them and the planets try to move away. As a result of these two forces, a planet keeps revolving around the sun at a fixed distance and a fixed orbit. So if they ask you, why does every planet move at a fixed orbit? Because of the two forces. That means one force of the sun. The sun exerts a force, that means a pull towards the sun on the planet, and the planet also tries to move away, which is why it remains in the same orbit. It does not change its orbit. A planet keeps revolving around the sun at a fixed distance in a fixed orbit. In the same way, satellites revolve around their planets. In which directions do these things fall? Now, leaves, flowers, fruits, you will find that they always fall down. That is the reason why gravitational pull, or what exactly is gravity, could be found out. There was a scientist called Newton. He was sitting under an apple tree and plonk, the apple fell on his head. He thought, why does the apple fall down? Why doesn't it fly and go up? So he thought that there must be something which is bringing everything down towards the earth. So the earth exerts a pressure or exerts a force of attraction or pulls things towards itself, and that is called gravity. Rocks that come loose from a hillside will also come rolling down. They won't go rolling up. Rain falling from the sky will also come down to the earth. Due to the earth's gravity, all things on the earth remain on it. Otherwise, everything would start flying around and floating around. Even if we throw something upwards with great force, you throw something, it finally comes down to the ground. A new word, space. Now, what is this word space that you might have learnt? The emptiness between and beyond the stars and planet is called the space or outer space. That means when you go out of the earth, on earth we have this gravitational pull. But when you go out into space, that means where the stars are, where the other planets are, there is no gravitational pull. So then you'll be floating around here to there. There is a movie called Gravity. And if you can see it, you'll understand how when there is zero gravity is there in space, and on earth we have gravitational pull, which is why we remain on earth, and in the space you can be floating around. People have always been curious. Now, what is the meaning of curious?